Hello everybody, good morning, welcome to the United Stand. I'm Mark GoldBridge and this is your latest Manchester United news as we discuss what's next with Manchester United as Sir Jim Ratcliffe acquires 25% of the club and a Glazer rescue plan. Lots to get into this morning. We'll talk about the reaction from the fan base. We'll talk about what is believed to happen at Manchester United in the short and long term. Why Sir Jim Ratcliffe may never buy all of the football club and the Glazers could stay for a very, very long time. The spin we will receive, the reality we will receive, and where that puts Manchester United now in the landscape of football. Look, as predicted, I've got to say, it's probably one of the hardest shows I've ever done this morning. Deflated isn't the word. It's devastating, absolutely devastating. And if you don't get that, well done. I get that it's all about different opinion. The division in the fan base has started. I'll be honest with you. I've had more hate DMs, you're a Forest fan, than I've had in years. Which just shows you, in a way, it absolutely devastates me to say this, but, the Glazers are very, very good at dividing this fan base, and they always will be. It amazes me the amount of people I've seen. You know what? I don't think this is the end. I think this could be the start of something. It might take a bit of time, but I think we might get somewhere. And I'm sat there going, this is why we fail. This is why there are better fan bases than ours. I said it last night, I'll say it now, I don't care. What's the point in pretending to be friends with people anymore? We're a divided fan base that shits on itself and lets these people own our football club for the last 20 years, and we'll let them do it for another 20 because we argue amongst ourselves. I was literally tweeting last night about why I think we are screwed for the future, and people are replying to me saying, no, I think Sir Jim's better than state-owned oil money, fuck off back to Forest, you Forest fan, and all this stuff. And I'm like, you are championing, you are ridiculing United fans who are genuinely gutted about the future of our football club to champion an ownership model that has, have you been to Old Trafford recently? It's basically breaking down and rusting. They've taken billions out of the club in dividends. We're over £500 million in debt. We've been nowhere near a title in 10 years. And people are going, yeah, fuck off back to Forest. Oh, yeah, shut up. You didn't get guitar. They're actually revelling in some sort of weird hate for their own fan base to champion something that I've seen every single one of those people moan about over the last 10 years. It's incredible. It's incredible that they are there. Oh, everything's going to be all right. I half expect them to get some Bob Marley on. Everything's going to be all right. It's not going to be all right. The people who own this football club are still the Glazers. I don't know what fantasy they're living in that they think Sir Jim Ratcliffe bought the club last night. We'll get into what that's all about, because that, if people are believing that in a few hours, what are they going to believe in a few days? What are they going to believe in a few weeks? If I was the Glazers and Richard Arnold and Sir Jim Ratcliffe, I would be over the moon. I'd be popping the champagne corks last night. I'd be going, look at social media. There's people on our side already, and all we've done is say that Qatar's lost and Sir Jim's won. It's over. It's over. And I tell you what, one of the big warnings I would say, I've spoken to a lot of people over the last 12 hours. Some people I've never spoken to before who really probably wouldn't be fans of the United Stand, but have said, you know what, I'm reaching out because actually it's about what's best for the club. And they've said this is very similar to 2005. There was a select few fans who reacted the same way that people have reacted last night. In no time they were ridiculed and told to fuck off and support somebody else. Some of them did. And ultimately, 18 years later, they're absolutely right. And so many people have said to me, this feels worse than 2005, and there's still people in our fan base going, fuck off and support somebody else then. And yet we've had nearly 20 years of the Glazers, and they're still staying, and people are saying, well, fuck off and support somebody else if you don't like it. Because it's not the end. Of course it's not the end. We'll find a way through. Sir Jim knows what he's on about. Yeah. The bottom line for me, and I cannot move away from this, and God, if you think Paul Mitchell is going to solve this problem at Man United, we're better off getting Grant and Phil Mitchell, to kick some ass. People are actually going to accept the club being run into the ground for the last 20 years, Old Trafford rotting, debt. They're going to swallow all of that because we might get Paul Mitchell as director of football. This is how thick some of our fan base is. They literally can be kicked in the face multiple times, but if they give you a shiny new toy, keep kicking. It's incredible. Like, What are Aston Villa, Brighton, Spurs, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Newcastle, Chelsea going to do when Paul Mitchell rolls into town? Oh, we'll all piss off down the pub and let you have a go. I mean, do people not realise the world of football anymore?